Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sambuddhassa. Good afternoon, Simon. I was informed that today is Sunday Choir Day, and we're going to have a nice rendition of knowledge from the choir after we finish doing our work. And it's going to, in my opinion, blend very seamlessly with the Dhamma talk, because what we're going to work with today is the influence of mind on our being, on our power that we have, that we want, because we give all of our power away. We give it away. We don't realize the essence of what we have. So we're going to use the hindrances of the five poisons, as they call them, Vajrayana, to meditate and bring to our presence how mind corrupts our peace. That it is not what we think it is. It is not reality, but it is our perceived or conceptualized reality that destroys our peace of mind and our peaceful body. And so what I want to do today is to bring some exercises, do some observance of mind, not necessarily mindfulness, but a layer beyond mindfulness or below mindfulness, which is the developing the awareness of where our disturbances reside when we're thinking about this or that, or having fear about this or that, or complaining about this or that. Where does it emanate from? Where does it generate from? And where does it sit and reside? So I'm going to ask you to do a little work today. I'm not going to do all of the work. I'm going to ask you to do a little work. So the first verse in the Dhammapada states that mind is chief. And what the Dhamma is telling us there is that our reality in samsara, our subjectivity, our perception, our thoughts and our fears, our presence, and our concerns are created by what we think, not by the object that we consider being present in front of us, or beside us, or behind us, or above us. But that it is all born of mental proliferation. And when we understand that, we then realize that Well, if that's true, I can just temper what I think. I can construct the emotion of thinking to the point that allows me to be in acceptance and at peace with everything that the mind tells me is present in my reality. Now I know that seems crazy, Why is it that I don't do that? Why is it that I waste my time crying and lamenting and shaking my fist at Fox and all of the other things that we do to try to realign our reality and set it up right and eliminate all of the craziness that we feel is embedded in our moment. Why is it that I just don't see myself having the best day ever? But we're going to see whether that's possible. And for some people, maybe it is possible because they believe that what they see in reality, in samsara, is true. I would suggest that you contemplate this, that you consider this along with your point, because I'm not in any way demeaning your point of view or saying that your point of view is not authentic. It's not worth paying attention to. I'm just saying that we can be governed by, we can be influenced by our thinking, our conception about what is present in our day. What they did to us, what they did to me, or what they said that was so vile. And we can allow that to shape our construct around our world and our comfort or lack of comfort in the world. But we can realize that perhaps it's all about what I'm thinking about, what I'm thinking about. And modify that so that I can always be giving myself good news. And it doesn't matter where the good news comes from. It just matters that we get good news. And when we get good news, we're happy. We have no complaints about the moment and about today. That it doesn't matter what the other guy thinks about today, how the day is going, and what kind of day they're having. And I'm sure that in your existence up to this point, you've all met someone who, if they're getting in the elevator with you, you find a reason not to get on the elevator with them. Because all they do, or all they did at that time that you knew them and had a relationship with them, was complain. There was always something wrong with the day. Sun was too hot, there was too much water in the rain. Always something. They could never just say, oh, good morning. It was always a complaint. Yeah, you know that guy. And so it wasn't you. But anyway, let's see if we can use meditation as a way of observing where these evaluations and condemnations originate from and reside at, and see whether we can alter the information or the perception that we have about what we are thinking, and because we're thinking it, we're also feeling it. Because we're feeling it, we're also either running toward it or running away from it. Let's see what we can do with that knowledge, that wisdom, that information, that exercise. Because, in my opinion, the day is just about an opportunity to exercise our power, flex our muscle, that we decline to be influenced by the opinion of someone else, that we choose to be empowered by the way our world operates as opposed to the way their world operates. And it's not to fight them or argue with them. It's just to be aware that what is apparent is that they're not listening to you. They're not embracing the opinion and the opportunity to have a nice day. That they are so wrapped up and concerned about the events in their reality that they cannot see any good and any beauty in what's happening in the moment. That they would prefer to see it as bad news. So here we go. Exercise number 1. Recall and relive the harm that an enemy has previously inflicted upon us, such as stealing from us, injuring us, embarrassing and shaming us. So we're going to recall and relive the harm that a person has previously inflicted upon us, such as stealing from us, injuring us, embarrassing and shaming us. And then we're going to sit and observe the emotion, the hatred toward that person rise intensely from the heart. Now, it doesn't matter where you think the heart is. Wherever you think the heart is, that's where you watch. That's what you observe. As the hatred arises, as the emotion that we define as hatred arises, it says, look deeply into and see where, not why, but where it comes from. Where it resides the upper or lower part of the body. So we're creating a condition, this unfavorable condition, this hurtful condition. And we are observing where it resides in our body, being, and how it arises up within us and takes over our ability to make a decision about how this day is going for me. That is taking over our ability to see the day, to see the moment as it is. And finally, where it goes, seeing whether the hatred has color and shape and what that color or shape may be. And remember, this is not about trying to be parallel or identical to anyone else. This is an individual thing. This is what you hope to develop the vision to experience is the differences between what you see in your mind when you think about wrongdoing, disrespect, what you see, what you feel in your body, where it comes from. So, without further ado, does everyone understand the assignment? Is anyone feeling that this is something they can't handle right now? Everyone's good? Yeah. everyone able to go to that place to identify that awareness, that negative awareness that came with the arising of someone doing wrongdoing to you, someone taking advantage of you, someone not liking you, agreeing with the choices that you've made about what your lifestyle should be. Everyone go there? Okay. Mm-hmm. The reason that I am suggesting that we do this morning is because we're going to have some music from our choir. And the song, as I understand it, that's going to be sung to us today is Holy Moses, I have been deceived. And what it is that I would like for you to do is to have the experience of what deception feels like. And realizing that we have been fooling ourselves forever, thinking that the way we feel and the construct that surrounds us in that moment of feeling and experiencing is all in our mind. That it's not true. That with the 20 people in the room, no one had an identical story. No one saw the same thing arising and presenting itself in a story to each of us as individuals. Okay. It says, now let's work with attachment, clinging, running toward. We dealt with something that we normally and usually run away from, had an aversion to. And that says being with an attractive individual, drinking wine and eating meat. Well, interesting. Wearing designer clothing, jewelry, riding horses and traveling in cars and aircraft and allowing desire to arise. What desire arises, gaze at it, looking at where it came from, what part of the body. What are the colors and shapes? Now we're looking at the sensuous. What it is we desire, what it is that we chase and hold on to and pray for, and lament when it leaves. And of course, the pain and the injury, we're happy when that leaves, and we're upset when it comes back. We also have this other event that colors our reality, that we think we want, that we chase, that we evaluate as a good thing. So we're going to look and see where that comes from, where that arises from, what type of kinetic energy that has. How does that make me feel? Did anyone notice that those diametrically opposed emotions and feelings arose in the same place? Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How can that be? If we go for all five or all 10 or all 23 complaints that we might have in life arose from the same place, doesn't that mean that there's something inauthentic about the resultant emotion that we feel if it all comes from the same place, even though the experience itself is diametrically opposed to each other? In other words, if you're walking with a friend who's always bringing you down, always messing with your family, you realize that mm, that's not someone we want to listen to. And by not listening to them, we do not become depressed, put down by their opinion because we don't listen to it. We change the channel. Why is it that we just don't automatically smile and say, there you are again, and change the channel? Why do we choose to go through the pain to revisit and re-experience the unpleasantness of that moment? That we have another good cry, that we raise our fists and shake our hands in church. Why do we just don't realize that it's just stuff, that the only power that it has over us is the power we do? That the sky is not really blue because there is no sky, number one. And then number two, there is no blue, and there are no clouds except when we put them there. It's your box of crayon, is what I'm telling you. And unlike second grade, you don't even have to color in the lines if you don't want to. It's always been and always will be your choice and your call. That nobody and nothing can mess with our heart. There's a spiritual truth that gives us the permission to change our countenance thinking about the moment in a different way. That's all we have to do. We don't have to go out and find it. We don't have to go out and buy it. We don't have to take it from someone else. Because happiness and compassion, love and kindness are abundantly present. And all we have to do is generate the internal expectation of this well-being, this emotion. Acknowledging to yourself that you carry the seed, that the seed is present in each and every one of us, if we think so. So why is it that we want to think the way someone else thinks about us, as opposed to having our own concept, having our own, making up our own minds about who we are? And that becomes our truth. And you'll find that you can't fool yourself, you can't BS yourself. You're not there, you're not there. If you're someone else, you're someone else. But the path and the journey starts with being where you truly are, not where you want to be, but where you truly are. That's where the journey begins. That's where the journey is. And you can make it present itself just by thinking about it. And as you go in your exercises, when you go inside, sitting in a chair, not doing anything, not moving anywhere, not taking any journey except inside, that you were able to generate an experience without getting up out your chair. That's power. That means you can override anyone else's intention to make you down, blue, depressed, unworthy, ugly. You don't have to accept anyone else's evaluation about who you are. You don't have to hate them. You don't have to despise them. Matter of fact, pray for them. Any questions? You are free. That's what freedom is about. Not to bind to anyone else's paradigm about who and what you are. I don't have my phone. I don't know if I'm so, did you talk to her today?
He messaged me about 2 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. So she is coming. Well, so we don't have dead air.
What? That's an interesting concept.
Are there any questions?
You talked about, use the word freedom, and I read the words unconditional freedom. Is there a real difference a different concept.
The difference is that one is two words and one is one. Anytime we try to make anything, we begin to add corruption to it. Now, we want to be able to present ourselves into an environment of emptiness, not nothingness, but so there are those of us who get really clever and we say to ourselves, well, since there is no enlightenment and no samsara and no hell, and it doesn't matter what I do and what I say, that I don't have to work hard at this, I don't have to do anything. But this becomes responsibility. And we're responsible to love everyone with our whole heart, and our whole body, and our whole capacity. Because if we in any way remember and hold on just a little bit to the disciplines that we came from, most of us at one time we called ourselves Christian. And it tells us that God is love. God is love. And love doesn't get mad at nobody for nothing. There's nothing more absolute than the love a mother has for her child. It doesn't matter how crazy the child may be in that moment, mother loves him or her because that's what comes from that pure source, that pure concept. Right, Funny White is here now. And is the choir ready? And remember, what we're doing is we're divorcing ourselves from the conceptual misunderstanding that I can't do anything all by myself. Our mind tricks us into thinking we have no power. And we're not worthy. Okay.
I think I had a retreat today that ended an hour from now, and I begged off. So, No.
Everybody feels the pain, screaming in a hate-filled rain. Everybody says we're through. I hope you haven't said it too. So where do we go from here with all this fear in our eyes? And where can light take us now? We've been so far down, we can still touch the sky. We'll crawl till we can walk again. Then we'll run till we're strong enough to jump, and then we'll fly till there's no end. So let's crawl back to love. Back to grace. And now we can't find back. The pain.
Thank you so much for coming today. I like this. And thank you for pointing deeper because when I came to give a Dhamma talk today, I forgot I was still giving a retreat and begged off the last hour and 15 minutes to be able to be here. And I didn't know whether to play the Dhamma talk was going to go with the song. My talk went with the song. And but when I came in the door and I heard him talking about love, I was like, he just got to do osmosis and it was all right. I would like to introduce John Orr. John Orr is a former Theravada monk, and he has a wonderful sangha here in North Carolina in Durham. That's in Durham, and he has some ministries that he participates in, healing ministries outside of the country. He's a teacher at Duke University. And he recently retired. And, you know, last year he came and gave really breaking, as you know, like we hardly don't let anybody come. And I teach at Hartwood because I really feel protected around the full counsel of the Dharma coming forward. But and that arose by any means still arose. And I tell you that in both of those areas, John fits the bill, if you will, rounded in his ability to express the unexpressible through some concepts that a person, regardless of what their spiritual position, will find their grounding. He's a chanter, and you'll get to hear him chant during the few weeks that he is here. And so I would encourage you to come out and to hear a different voice and to really experience his wonderful presence and his teaching. So John, he'll be doing the Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Yeah, plans of the talks, and I will continue to do the Friday one for those of you who are in the master. Very true, the Friday course. Let's see. Also, John is giving a retreat, and if you haven't registered for that retreat, I invite you to register. The retreat will be both in person and online. Yes, yeah. So if you feel that you can't make it, of course, if you're local, there's no excuse for not listening. If you do listen online, you can drive 5 minutes and be here. But if you don't, I invite you to register online for the retreat and in for the retreat. So thank you so much for coming today. May you well and happy and peaceful and comfortable and no danger.
I would just like to thank our young boy, Sasha. For coming and blessing us with his presence today. And as I always say, that I appreciate the choir and the voices so much. That, and speaking about living with deficiency, I'm a person who can't sing. I won't sing, I can't sing. It chased me out whenever I try to join and sing. But I've always been convinced that everyone can't sing because some people have to listen. And I'm a listener. I'm a great listener. I feel the emotion of the singing, the song, and the preparation. And I've watched some of our young gymnastics who've got I leave it alone, he's fine. Now, I know if I come to your house, I won't say that, but he's home. He's fine. So I see your work. I see your progress. You have beautiful voices. You're a wonderful teacher. And that's it.